And good morning. It's the app is what that is. So you're seeing the app there. Good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. Joining us in studio this morning, talking Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. Of course, Steve Alvarez, the man who keeps the park going and everything out there at Bitter Lake. The Ranger Steve. Or whatever. We got to come up with a name for you up there. Just like the. You know, he's the guy that keeps Yogi in check. There I'm just kidding. I kid, of course. But Steve Alvarez joining us here, and then of course Don Weld, who's with Friends of Bitter Lake, of course the organization that made up of volunteers that support and help and make Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge a great place to come and enjoy for the public too. So, good morning, guys.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, what is technically your official title?
It's Outdoor Recreation Planner. It's basically the public use officer.
Gotcha.
So,
okay. Basically, he's like the official there at Bitter Lake Wildlife.
The voice of Bitter Lake.
There you go.
He's the Walmart greeter of Bitter Lake.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. That's
Well,
right.
I was gonna up your game a little bit. Like he's probably downplaying you. He's like, welcome to Bitter Lake. I love you.
Yeah, there you go.
But of course, for folks that do not know, Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is literally an oasis right outside of our community here. It is. We have bottomless lakes, which is our recreational fun camping and swimming and boating and all that stuff. That's bottomless lakes. Well, Bitter Lake is our refuge, our wildlife refuge. It is the rest stop of pretty much every migratory animal that comes through the western half of the United States.
Yeah, we're a big bird sanctuary.
Yeah, but mostly birds. But butterflies, everything else migrate. As I joked before, I said it's basically the pilot flying J for the wildlife.
Yeah,
it is That's kind of in a nutshell is what it is. It really. But we do have animals and wildlife and plant like obviously plants that do call Bitter Lake home year round. That also serve there as well. So.
Yeah, and that's good that you mentioned the migration because sometimes people go out there and it might be super dry and they don't see anything, but they just got to come another couple of days or a few weeks later, and birds are migrating or they'll see something different they never even imagined.
Unfortunately, nature does not have a show schedule.
It's
not like Las Vegas where the birds will come out on the hour every hour or whatever it is. That's just not how it is. I got reminded of that lesson hard in Carlsbad Caverns. That one was the one that reminded me because I was expecting because we got to go to do the bird when they go out to hunt, not the bird, the bats. They'll go out to go hunt. They usually about dusk during for a good hunk of the year.
Yeah,
right.
Summertime.
They go hunting. They go out for their night of getting food and doing what bats do.
Correct.
And sometimes they all come out together. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes some come out. Sometimes they're like, I'm taking the night off. I'm going to hang in and watch a TV show or something.
Yeah.
They don't always. They don't have a set. No one told them, it's 6 p.m. You're supposed to go out of the cave now so everyone can ooh and ah at you. So the one of the nights I went there, it was a little
slow.
Yeah, they all stayed in for TV dinners, and I don't know, American Idol was on or something.
There you go.
Something was on that night that they didn't want to come out. I think we saw it, but that's wildlife in general.
There is on some of that. I'm glad you mentioned that because we do have kind of a deal where it's kind of routine is the fall migration of the cranes and the snow geese.
Yeah.
If you have not seen it, it's one of the coolest things to see. We get like about 25,000 sandhill cranes will arrive in October.
Yeah.
October, November, December, January, around there. And, for those on good seasons, for those who want to view that, we have a flight out in the morning where the birds are leaving the refuge to go out for feed. And then we have the fly-in, and as the sun's going down, they come back to the refuge. So it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, so the early morning, is that around dawn, or is that later or a little earlier?
Just as soon as the sun starts coming up.
Okay,
when the light starts
if you're an early morning person, then you might want to check out the morning. But if you like looking at the back of your eyelids at dawn, then come out for when they do it in the evenings.
And every year they have different spots where they like to congregate. And so if on those spots that are close to the road, you'll notice a larger amount of visitation because they'll be next to the side where people can see them, and so some of our locals who know the
good spots,
the good spots,
the routines.
Routines. They'll come in every afternoon driving just to see the flight.
Just to come and it's so part of their day.
Correct.
That's Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Correct.
That's right.
It's home for wildlife, but we as people get to come and observe and watch, but that's why it's not like bottomless lakes. We don't want you swimming in the lake. We don't want you, doing the type of camping and things that you do over there. We want to preserve that place to keep it as minimal human contact or impact as possible.
Right.
We want to let nature do its thing.
Correct.
We, the humans, kind of keep, and really this is kind of the biggest job, and we'll get to the Dragonfly here in a minute, but for the friends and for you and your staff and everyone that the biggest fight that they have out there is keeping the things that are native and the things that belong here there. But we have a lot of flowers, bugs, animals, and things that through various methods have now come to New Mexico
Trees.
that aren't native to this area. And some of them are very hardy in this climate, and they're crowding out some things that are native to the area. So the big fight really is keeping native, and keeping the foreign stuff from overtaking everything.
Yeah, and that's happening around the whole country. A lot of refuges. It's not our main.
That's
thing,
not unique to here.
But there's a variety of places that certain exotic animals or plants will get loose, and then they find the climate just suiting for them, and they start producing.
Sure.
And then before you know it, they're out competing.
Well, that's life. How life works.
Yeah.
That's how humans work. That's everything of life on this planet works. It finds way to grow and survive and adapt, and that's what happens.
It's called migration.
Yes, exactly. And so, and that's what Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is all about. That it's there to keep, to preserve, for us as humans to study and understand it better, and for the community to enjoy and see it without getting involved.
The refuge belongs. We're part of a network of refuges along the flyways, and our main priority at the refuge is migratory birds. But we do have a variety of other animals. We have endangered species that are found just in that area. So
got to protect them.
Exactly. So.
But one of the biggest public event out at Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is just around the corner here. The 2022 Dragonfly Festival is happening here that weekend of September 10th. That Saturday, September 10th, the main day. But it as it always is, it's a weekend event. We're gonna tell you more about them here in just a second. But some special stuff on Friday for folks. And then, of course, they do Sunday tours, too. If your Saturday's just too busy, they have it's way scaled back. It's not all the fun, all the different booths and things that are coming out. They're all there Saturday. They're not coming back Sunday. But some of the tour guides will be there, and they're going to do some more of the Dragonfly tours up until about noon that day. So if that works a little better, you can sign up there.
Yeah,
So.
and I'm glad you mentioned, the Dragonfly Festival. Like Mike said, we try to protect the area, and a lot of times another part of our mission is education. We're educating people here in Roswell in the local community that, hey, right next door, you've got a unique, special place. I mean, a lot of diversity of wildlife, and we want to show off our stuff.
It's literally an entirely different world, and it's right in your own backyard.
Yeah, a lot of people are amazed when they find out what is actually living out there.
It's an oasis. If you remember, people my age watching Looney Tunes as a kid, and you see Porky Pig or Bugs Bunny go through the desert, and then he hits this spot with these beautiful trees and water, and there's usually some fictitious mermaid or whatever out there. That's not there, but that's exactly what.
I don't know. I keep looking for that.
Some guy with a drink saying, "Hey, welcome." That's not there, but the rest of that is kind of what Bitter Lake really is.
It really is kind of. It is. We even use the theme Oasis in the desert as part of our film and orientation movie.
Yeah.
Going back to the Dragonfly Festival, is that we want to show everybody all this stuff, and we talked about diversity. One of the reasons why we have a Dragonfly Festival is that because we have over 100 different species just in that area of dragonflies. We have dragonflies that are supposed to only be found near the ocean because of Bitter Lake is highly saline. We have a group of dragonflies that will lay its eggs there on the refuge and then reproduce.
Nice.
Just a small population. And then we got the Pecos River, and we got natural springs popping out of the ground, and we got our regular marsh area. There's a lot of variety of water there. That's what attracts.
It creates the different wildlife and species.
Correct.
Now, are there any breeds of dragonflies that are considered migratory, or are they all pretty much sticking?
I think there is. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's like only one or two.
Because I know we've talked before, you and I think this was maybe about butterflies, and they're migratory, but in a different way than you think. Yeah. Like the birds, they're making the trip north, but like some of these butterflies, it's like generational migratory, where these set of butterflies will get us here, and then they kind of die off and create the next group that gets the herd farther down. Correct. And so it's migratory, but it's a little different.
And I'm glad you mentioned about butterflies, because even though it's a Dragonfly Festival, one of our events that we've done in the last couple of years that's real popular is we release monarch butterflies. Right now, across the country, monarch butterflies are
endangered.
Well, they're being considered listed as endangered because their populations are going down.
Yeah. But we're trying to do stuff to prevent it from going full into danger.
Correct,
basically.
And we're encouraging our communities to plant native plants, milkweed, butterflies. Kind of do some habitat type stuff in your home.
Sure.
But we're also encouraging that our friends of Bitter Lake have established a butterfly trail, and they've been planting some stuff to get. And we've seen monarchs starting to come on their own at the refuge. So
my wife did one in her second grade class where they got some of the butterflies, and they in the classroom they watched them, go from the larvae into the caterpillars and pupate into the butterflies, and then when they were ready, they released them.
Yeah, that's a cool. I used to teach, and that's a cool lesson.
Her class has been doing that for the last couple of years now. So
Sweet.
It's a cool thing. So.
Well, going back to the butterflies, if you're interested, on Saturday at 12 o'clock noon, we are releasing 200 butterflies.
This upcoming Saturday?
No.
Or on Dragonfly
Festival
on Saturday.
On Saturday,
part of
September 10th.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can sign up at the refuge for a butterfly. If you have a child, grandson, or friend, or little kid you want.
They want to release one?
Yeah, exactly. You call up. You get a free ticket, and that ticket, you'll have to pick it up at the visitor center. And the first 200 people that give us calls will get the butterfly tickets. Okay. And then they'll meet at certain locations. We'll tell you where.
Okay.
On Saturday, on the day of the festival. And at 12 noon, we release them.
Oh, cool.
And if you don't have any kids and you want to see the butterflies, just to check it out,
it's
pretty cool. So,
do they do like all at one time? Where each
no,
one
they individually. It's kind of like a photo op for the kids.
Okay.
The kid will go.
I got you. So it's not like a sea of butterflies are going to come out. It's one, two at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So that's why we do different locations so we can get more.
Well, and
you got 200 of them. That takes time.
Well, and I'm guessing this is the natural cycle of life. This place we're talking about here.
Right.
Butterflies aren't at the top of the food chain.
Correct.
What could happen is if you've got 200 butterflies going out, there's probably a lot of people or not people, but animals that think butterflies are pretty tasty.
Well, dragonflies.
Birds, dragonflies.
I've seen dragonflies.
And they're like, they're releasing the food. Let's go see. And so we don't want that either, where next thing you know, all these things come out and start eating butterflies.
But one thing that's good, I'm glad you kind of mentioned that.
There's other things that eat butterflies.
They are, but
that's just like a sea of steaks flying out there for one of these. It's like, dude.
There is a defensive mechanism that the monarchs in particular have.
Okay.
They as larvae, as caterpillars, they eat milkweed plants.
Okay.
And they're very toxic. So animals, that's why they're so bright. The orange color is to warn everybody else.
Okay.
If you eat me, you will pay the price.
Gotcha. It makes sense. I didn't know if that was for mating with the colors, because I know sometimes in other birds and things
that's part of it too.
Yeah.
But the big part is a warning to the
is a defense mechanism.
I've actually seen films where like a frog caught one and then they went into convulsions because of the poison. So they're very toxic.
Okay. So good tip: don't try to eat butterflies.
Don't try to eat monarchs.
Other butterflies have a similar mechanism too.
Yeah. Well, that's the cool part about nature.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like. and this is why a lot of us, I'm sure you guys included, get fascinated when you watch like National Geographic and they've got those things about animals and their habitats and things. Like I did it on the radio here. I did a whole rant. I'd watch this video about Komodo dragons, and I was like, I knew I was aware of them, but I didn't realize how tough and I'm of the opinion the scariest animal on the planet is the Komodo dragon. I've come to that conclusion. Thank God they're limited to where they're at.
Crocodiles and alligators are pretty spooky too.
Well, I think these things would take them. Like I'd even put a lion up against one of these things, and I'll give it to the Komodo. It's just because if they bite you, you're dead. Yeah. Because there's so much bacteria in their mouth that it's poisonous when they bite you.
That's right.
They've got uber thick skin, so you can pound on them all day, and it's not going to affect them. They'll eat you dead. They'll eat you alive. They don't care. And they look like dinosaurs when they get big. They literally look like something out of Jurassic Park when they get big.
They are huge.
They're the most frightening thing, and they'll chase you. Like I've seen them watch and bite an elk and then just chase it until it died and then ate it. It'll eat other Komodo dragons. They're cannibal. They'll eat their young. Those things are savage. But anyway, back to Dragonflies.
Exactly. Wildlife is real fascinating. Yeah. So we could talk about a lot of other animals. But yeah, with time we have the Dragonfly Festival, we want to really promote it. Something that the public may want to know is on Friday, September 9th, we have a presentation in the auditorium at 6:30. It's free. But it's first come, first serve.
This kind of unofficially kicks off Dragonfly Festival weekend.
Right. We have a lady named Laura McCain, and she does raptors of New Mexico, birds of prey.
Okay.
So she'll have some hawks.
Not the dinosaur raptors from Jurassic Park.
Exactly.
Not the Ford pickup truck either.
We're going back to the Komodo dragon.
No. The birds of prey raptors, yes.
Yes, exactly. So anyway, by popular demand, she's really good presenter. She knows her stuff on birds, and she brings live birds. She's got vultures, she's got owls and hawks, and it's really good for the kids up front. And the program lasts for about an hour. After that program, we'll have the Roswell Astronomy Club set up some spot and scopes.
Good deal.
It's really good out there because
not a lot of the city lights don't impact it.
Exactly, so they love it out there, and so. If that's Friday, September 9th, free, but make sure you come early. It kicks off at 6:30, but as soon as the auditorium fills, we close it off. And the last couple of times it's gotten full. So
maybe get there 5:45 or so. Get there a few minutes early.
I would even
maybe 5:30. Get there.
Exactly.
That way you got a good spot.
Exactly.
And while you're there, just walk around and check out that immediate area.
We have the bookstore will be open and the nature store. You can do some shopping. They got some unique things.
And that's a great way to support Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge.
Right.
That's run by the Friends of Bitter Lake. It's all the things you buy there. The money goes back into the programs and the conservation projects.
For conservation, for education. The biologist needs project stuff, money that comes
helps
to them.
To pay for the festival.
Yep, exactly.
And this is what and to be honest, it really serves as twofold because we do want the public. Bitter Lake is kind of that hidden gem where a lot of people either confuse it with bottomless lakes or don't realize it's out there.
Oh yeah.
And we want to just spread that word and say we've got this beautiful thing right in your own backyard that we would love for you to come and enjoy and see and preserve it. Obviously, because the idea is your grandkids need to be able to come out there and see it too.
And we've had people that have just shown for like first time and they really fall in love with it. And many of them end up joining the Friends. And, they become, we had one guy, Bill Flint, he used to go take pictures and he became the president of the Friends. And he just really sponsored.
I think when you get out there and you see it, then people connect. And it's like, oh, now I get it. I get the nature. I get why this is here and it makes sense.
Correct.
And then once they do, it's like, I want to get involved with this. I want to, because I gotta be honest. I think you guys, when they get out there, they do projects that are really making a big impact, and it's one of those sense of accomplishments. Like, look, all we did was work on a dam here, or work on a trail, or something like that, or do, we did some weeding.
Yeah.
But that is such a difference in the ecosystem, and it like to get the most bang results for your buck. in something like you do something tangible, and you can legitimately see the benefits of that labor.
Oh yeah,
right there instantly. And I think
just like even our butterfly trails that the friends put together. For a while at the very beginning, we didn't track very many butterflies, but it wasn't the last 3 years. I'd say we've gotten a lot more variety of butterflies just in that little area.
Sure,
so it's kind of cool.
I'm curious. Real quick, I'm going to sidetrack this one more time, but in the same vein, like you said, these are migratory animals and things. But if you're out there every day and seeing things, do you see patterns and things? Do you see certain animals?
Sure,
and you're like, oh, there's the guy who always. There's the geese that always comes this way. There's the you know what I mean?
Pattern, yeah, you'll see like, for example, like in the winter, you'll see a bird called a loggerhead shrike. You don't see it often, but it's a pretty bird. They'll be in the bushes. When it flies, it kind of makes it like a white and grayish flash, so you kind of know which ones they are. And they leave, and then the mockingbirds come in, and you'll see mockingbirds start. And you won't see very many loggerheads. So that little pattern, you'll see things like that.
We have the swallows that come in.
Okay,
they come in and nest right there at the nature store.
That's great. So they really come. They get close to the public. As far as wildlife goes. That's
exactly. Yeah. That's good. Don said that, because right at the entrance of the door, you'll see
their nestings. Yeah.
So there's a reminder. All the wildlife out there is wildlife at the refuge. It's their place. They're just letting you come check it out.
Correct.
Yeah. Remember that whenever you're out there,
we're in their home.
That's their home.
Yep.
You're visiting. Yep. You treat it like that. You don't go touching everything. You don't go rummaging through their stuff. That's like you wouldn't do it at someone else's house. You don't do it out at the refuge.
You're a visitor, like you said.
You don't disturb the plant life and things as little as possible. That's stay on the trails, things like that. Don't go wandering.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Hey, the other thing, let's go back, I guess, to the festival, because we don't have time. But as far as on Saturday, the bird presenter that did the program on Friday, she'll be doing another repeat on Saturday at 2:00.
Okay.
In our auditorium. Same thing, first come, first serve. There's two other presenters in the auditorium that are going to be really cool. At 11 o'clock, Justin Stevenson is going to be coming and talking about bats of New Mexico. He's a real good expert on bats, and it'll be interesting to hear what he's got to say about this COVID release stuff.
He'll tell you about Carl's bat.
Yeah, he'll talk about Carl's
he knows about that
and stuff. So he's going to be, and his program starts at 11. It's free.
Good deal.
So it's he's really, really good, real knowledgeable. And then at 1 o'clock, for the first time, we're having a local photographer. Guy's named Jerry Holm. He has gone to the refuge. He likes going out there and just relaxing and taking pictures at times throughout
taking pictures of life as it happens out there.
So he's kind of made like a journal of the refuge, and he's a great photographer. And what he's going to be doing, he's going to show his images of Bitter Lake, and then he's also going to try to teach you some tips on taking nature photography. He's a real good photographer.
So if you always wanted to do some of that,
he'll give you some tips,
how to
some
catch
pointers.
his pics, good deal.
He's one of the. I've been in this business for a while, and he's a super photographer.
Well, anyone that has a passion for something, they always do a better job of teaching it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it sounds like this man has a passion for his photography and what he does.
Correct. So those three programs will be on Saturday. So they're free. First come, first serve.
Yeah.
Again, one time. I just go over it one more time. 1 o'clock is Jerry Holmes photography. 2 o'clock is the birds of prey, and then at 11 o'clock is the bat program. So those
excellent.
Three. And you can get online to see if you forget. You get
is there
online.
a schedule of events there?
Exactly.
Is it at Friends of Bitter Lake?
You can go Friends of Bitter Lake, or you can go on Bitter Lake National Wildlife Refuge, and you can go on Facebook. We update a lot on Facebook.
Just do Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge on Facebook. Correct. Search it, and it should pop right up, and you can get all the information there. Yeah. And that's just part of what we're talking about. Correct. Because some of the main stuff that's also part of the Dragon that's traditionally always a part of the Dragonfly Festival. Of course, Friday night, like you said, you got the presentation at 6 there.
Correct.
And then the stargazers will take over after that. But early Saturday morning, the early bird tour that starts at 6:30. It's about a 2-hour tour.
Correct.
And that's the one where you get to go out and see some of the early stuff.
We go behind areas that normally are not allowed to the public. We have we have 2 volunteers and they're expert birders. One of them is like almost like a professional wildlife biologist. He's really, really good. He's been there for years. Jim Montgomery, very, very knowledgeable. In fact, whenever we get new biologists, they always go to him for the information because he kind
of indoctrinates to the local, lay of the land, so to speak. Here,
so he's really good.
That's cool.
On that bird, we are only running 1 van, and it'll be like a 12, 15, between 13 people on there. I think it's more than half fill. So
okay, so there's still a little bit of room.
Yeah,
but don't wait.
Don't wait because I'm sure that one's going to get.
These
full,
are free,
so.
by the way. It doesn't
Correct.
cost anything.
All you gotta do is call,
none of them do.
Make reservations, and we'll put your name down.
Now, if 6:30 a.m. is not your cup of tea for on a Saturday morning, don't worry. There's lots of other tours. The early bird tour. That tour is only Saturday morning, 6:30 to 8:30.
Correct.
However, beginning at 8 a.m., they'll start the Dragonfly Tour.
Yeah, that's our most popular tour.
Mm-hmm.
That one always gets booked on Saturdays.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah,
that's the first.
And that's why we do the Sunday tours. We just get the guides agreed to stay one because they come from different parts. Texas, they'll come from.
They just love the Dragonflies, love the
they're
Refuge.
Just real dedicated.
This is their thing.
So they'll give the tours also at Sunday.
Okay.
Just three vans they'll take out. 3 different tours.
They're basically on the hour from 8 a.m. till 2 p.m. on Saturday. Each tour is about an hour and a half, but
Correct.
they leave on the hour.
Yeah.
You do need to pre-register to sign up to get your time slot, but like Steve was mentioning, they fill up quick. So if you're very narrow-winded, like I can only do it at 10 or I can only do it at 8, then please go to Friends of Bitter Lake or go on to the Facebook, whatever, and reserve your time.
You can phone number down there that they can call.
575-625-4011 or 575-244-6256. Again, 625-4011 or 244-6256.
Correct. Right.
They also are offering the wildlife tours on Saturday, and those run about an hour and a half as well.
Yeah.
They'll leave every 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12:45, and 3 p.m.
Yeah, correct.
And those cover more just than the Dragonflies.
Well, the Dragonfly tour is focused on just nothing but dragonflies.
Gotcha.
The wildlife biologist tour, we have our biologist that just knows the area very well, and they'll take you out to the refuge. And they'll tell you about our management, how we take care of, like for example, the salt cedar. We get rid of that. He'll tell you how what our plans are in the future, how to work with that.
Yeah, okay.
Water management. Because a lot of times people go out there and there's no water because we haven't filled the ponds yet. So we get the spring water and fill it up. Timing is a big critical deal. We have an endangered sunflower that's in the refuge. And it starts blooming right about the time the Dragonfly Festival occurs, and and even a little bit sometimes earlier, but normally about the time of the festival and then afterwards. And if you hit it just right, it's really beautiful. It's really
so you get to see that on the wildlife.
Just a whole acres of sunflowers all in blooming at one time.
Cool.
It's really really cool. So
wow.
But that's due the water management. We have to have water in certain areas at certain times, and he'll tell you what.
Speaking of that, as far as the rains and things we've been getting,
we got flooded.
Was it a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, it was good. We were just before the rainstorm. Me and the manager were talking about how dry this was. One of the driest times that I've been there. And then, like over the weekend, I came driving in. I go, oh my gosh, look at all the water.
Good.
It's all up.
So you guys were happy to see it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. For
I know
the
we always need the moisture, but we don't always need it at one time.
It was the first. This is probably one of the historical flooding area for a while. The river banks of the Pecos overflowed into the refuge, and it actually crossed into our wildlife drive. So for one day, we had to shut off parts of the loop.
Sure. Which is understandable.
Yeah,
considering.
But it's good. So it'll be interesting to see how many. Where there's water, there's a lot of dragonflies. So it'll be interesting to see if it just shot up the numbers.
I'm guessing too. Probably just a good rule of thumb: pack plenty of bug spray for yourself.
Exactly. I happened to look at some of the water, and they are already a mosquito larvae.
Because as soon as you get a puddle, mosquitoes start showing up.
Yeah, there was a lot of mosquito larvae in the puddles that I
But that's good food for the dragonflies.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's a lot.
Well,
they should be good fat by the Dragonfly Festival.
They call the dragonflies mosquito hawks.
Nice.
Because they basically
So
prey
they
on
are your
mosquitoes.
friend.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
the ones that the dragonflies don't eat, they're going to bite you. So maybe put
That's
some
right.
Yep.
some bug spray
Put some
on before
spray.
you come out and keep
Yep.
her fresh.
Exactly.
Bug spray and sunscreen, probably
Yep.
two things that.
Yeah, water. Bring
and
a
plenty of
bottle
water,
of
of
water,
course.
you know,
Of course, they will have like the
have
Boy
a-
Scouts and some other
the
vendors
Boy
doing
Scouts
things.
are sending some, this year, for the first time, we're actually having snow cones there.
Oh,
Somebody's gonna sell
nice.
snow cones,
And the
so-
nature store will have water and sodas and
Good
stuff.
deal too,
in
so you
there,
can get
too.
drinks and cool off.
Right.
But you know,
Yeah.
by all means, bring your canteen of water if you're going to be out on the tours and
Correct.
things, and
Right.
need more hydration and all that. And
Yep.
then, of course, like you said, visit like some of these different walks and tours and things. But also make sure to visit the booths. There's I know the quilt is one of the things that friends do.
The friends have it's
Drawing.
called a drawing where they one of our local volunteers made a quilt designed with dragonflies in mind, and we've been doing that traditionally for maybe 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
you know, and
Now it's just part of the fabric
You
of-
just buy a ticket from the friends. They'll sell a ticket. The tickets are $1 each, or you get 6 for $5.
Great. So buy a bunch.
Right.
Yeah,
And
that
all
money
that goes back.
goes back
to
to
the program.
sponsoring for the festival. You know that. exactly.
I won't be there this Saturday, but Labor Day Saturday, that Labor Day weekend Saturday, I'll be at Farmers Market.
Yes.
And I will have those tickets for the drawing.
Okay, so you can buy some.
You can buy there, or you can buy them at the festival itself. We'll have at the Friends table.
So yeah, because I think by design, the Friends table is near the American Legion table, which is
Right. Well,
because
yeah,
Don is dumping back and forth between all of them.
He's
the Legion and the Bitter Lake and Alzheimer's. all
Yeah,
right
and the outside,
together.
they're all right there because Don's
Doing all three.
running all three of those booths there. So, Don's involved with a lot of stuff
Yeah,
here
he's a
too.
good volunteer.
But please, if you've never been to the Dragonfly Festival, make 2022 your first time. Come out.
Yeah.
I swear you're going to be blown away by what you see out there.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a fun day. We geared it towards kids as far as families like.
Sure.
So a lot of stuff we have. The Department of Game and Fish here of New Mexico, they set up a fishing pool, and
Little
they actually
pond.
have a fishing pond. And they actually
They've been doing
have
that
either,
for a couple
they-
years now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they either have catfish or trout, and it's amazing to watch little kids catch their first fish. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and it's odds are pretty good since they got it set up for
yeah,
you. So it really,
exactly. So it's
because
good.
they know,
Yeah.
with the sport of fishing, the fun, and by the way, that's an important role in when it comes to humans and our doing that. But fishing, that's part of that. We're part of the ecosystem in that a little bit.
Exactly.
And through these types of programs, your kids learn the right ways to do this.
Correct.
stuff
Right.
and
Yeah,
all
exactly.
of that.
Yeah,
So-
that's educational. They teach them, and we want to really thank those guys from the Department of Game and Fish. They have done a wonderful job over the years, and we work as partners to getting this program going. And they're going to also have an archery shooting area where the kids go ahead and get bow and arrow
Excellent.
and
Which is a
downrange.
great,
Yeah. So something they're going to have some other stuff there too.
If you need
they're-
those kids that need a little patience, discipline, things like that, archery is a great tool to teach that kind of thing.
Yep.
It's a cool deal. So
Yeah.
then behind the visitor center, there is an area where we have arts and crafts, and there's face
For kids.
painting. There's
Especially for kids.
They make little dragonfly ornaments, and it's really cool. The kids really get involved in it. And then we have an exhibit tent where all these conservation groups and just some vendors will be there. So it's just a fun time to go there. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, obviously, we'd love to have you come, sign up for the drawings and buy food and things while you're out there because all that helps Bitter Lake. But remember, the Dragonfly Festival is free. It's free to come out. It's free to participate in these tours. It's
Correct.
free to come to the different informational panels and things like that. Friday night when you come out for at 6 or come out for Stargate, all of that's free of charge.
Yep.
If you'd like to make donations, if you'd like to, we'd love to have you because that's how Bitter Lake keeps going and keeps
And join the
providing.
friends.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're wanting to get involved, Friends of Bitter Lakes are great. If you love getting your hands dirty and doing like gardening and that type of work, and you've done all you can do at your house and looking for other places to do that kind of stuff, Bitter Lake, Friends of Bitter Lake can help. They've got some stuff for you, but
Exactly.
But,
We'll put you to work.
And, yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Mike, because we do. We haven't done this festival because of the COVID epidemic. We hadn't done it for the last 2 years, and so we're getting regrouped again. and our source of volunteers. We're going to need some more volunteers. So if you're out there and you're bored and you want to help out with the Dragonfly Festival, give us a call at the Refuge, and we'll put you to work during the festival.
Absolutely. I just saw the time. Again, questions, reserve tickets for any of the Dragonfly or Early Bird or Wildlife tours. You can go find either Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge on Facebook, friendsofbitterlake.com or org. I always get it mixed. .org. Yeah. And then, of course, you can always call either of these numbers, 575-625-4011. Again, 575-625-4011 or 575-244-6256. 575-244-6256. And then don't forget about the live bird bat programs 11 and 2. Don't forget about the kids fishing pool, the arts and crafts, the scavenger hunt, the photography, and of course the tours and everything.
And you can make your tours. You can go do a Dragonfly tour at 8:00, and then you can do the wildlife tour later on.
Sure.
And then you can go to the auditorium. You can plan your whole day and call us, and we can help you set it up.
If you want, we can make you as busy or as carefree as you want at the event. Just give us a call.
Right. You got it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, we'll see you next time. I made them hungry with showing them a big old biscuits. Now they're probably going to find breakfast somewhere. There you go. Thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mike.